Recently, I've been thinking about how important your perspective is in life. And not even specifically towards anything, it's just your perspective on everything. Everything is perspective. Everything you think about is your perspective. And I don't think most people understand how important their perspective is in regards to what they're thinking about, and how different their perspective is than everyone else around them. If you were just able to change your perspective on most things going wrong in your life, you'd be able to understand that it's either good for you or it's something that you can easily cut out from your life. Personally, I try and look at everything from a positive standpoint. So even if it's something that might seem negative, I try and change my perspective, change the way I see it and the way I think about it so I can use it to benefit me. For example, recently in my life, I've had kind of this whole entire plan for the way that this coming year was supposed to go for me. It's kind of been flipped on its head quite recently. And it all was just like, boom, change. Immediately. Like, just like one piece of news I got, and it was just like, phew. And when I got the news, when I was thinking about it, there was no negativity about it. It was no like, oh my God, I had this plan. It's not going to go like that now. What am I going to do? Oh my God. And just like all this overthinking going on. It was none of that. It was like, okay, change. How can I improve? How can I get better? How is this going to make me better? What can I do now? It's like, this plan's done. Okay, so I'm going to go home. I'm going to make a new plan. And whenever I think about a perspective, I like expanding it to a lot of the norms in society and a lot of the things that a lot of people face. For example, I feel that not even just my generation, but a lot of society has been plagued with this anxiety. Everybody's so anxious and concerned all the time about everything, like just the economy or inflation or the wars going on or homework. Like, everybody has so much anxiety. But if you just start thinking about whatever you're anxious about as something that's going to improve you or something you can't control, then it doesn't become a point of pain for you anymore or a point of anxiety for you anymore. You just have to change your perspective. You just have to have a little bit of awareness enough to have that mental shift. I think what it is most important when thinking about your own perspective is you have to have an ability to be aware of your own thoughts. You need to have awareness of why you think what you think. So for example, the anxiety thing, you have to be able to discern why you're anxious about what you're anxious about. Like, why it matters to you so much to the point that it's hurting you. So if you're anxious about an upcoming due date, well, that's something easily controlled by you. You just have to get it done. So why aren't you? Why are you letting it be a point of anxiety for you? Or you're an overthinker. You think too much. You think about everything going on all at once, and you start getting anxiety about it. And I think there's two ways you can go about dealing with that anxiety. You can realize that the majority of the things you're thinking about, you have no control over and don't really matter to you and your life and your goals. And once you come to that realization, you'll altogether stop caring about the majority of the things you're overthinking about. Or you change your perspective about the overthinking in general, and you start to think that your overthinking nature is a blessing. We've been given this brain to think. And why would you be angry that you're thinking too much? You just think about everything and try and come up with solutions. Think of it like a game. Like, don't let it bring you down. Try and use it to improve you. Think about athletes. Think about the perspective they have on the game they play. You think they go into it with a losing mindset? You think they go into it thinking about how good every other player on the other team is? Or do you think their perspective is more geared towards the best they can be and how much better they can make their teammates? When athletes get into slumps, or they get like the yips, or they get nerves, then they go see sports psychologists and then change their perspective. They find the root of their problems. They figure out what they were doing right when they were winning, and they go back to that mindset and that perspective. So if you're in a slump and you're down right now, think about the last time you were up, or think about what you would be doing in the future when you've hit your goals, and either go back to doing what you were doing when you were up, or start embodying the person that you want to be. Change your perspective. Don't get so dragged down by whatever current narrative you have in your head. Perspective truly is everything. The only thing you have control over in this life is your own mind. So why let everything external control it? You need to be aware, and you need to have control over your own mind. It's going to be all for today. I believe perspective is one of the most important things that you should give some thought to. Just all your perspectives on everything. Overthink the crap out of it. Hope you got some value out of this. Like the video if you did. Comment your thoughts and subscribe for more.